Oh, I hate that sound. Oh, well, here we go. All right, now, awesome. We should be able to see this as a big thing up in the corner. Awesome. All right. Do the thing, hide that. Okay, so welcome, guys, to this training of how to transform your mindset and take more inspired actions towards the life that you want to live. What we're going to be covering today is a little bit about how to find your purpose and start living it, how to learn what your highest values are and how they impact your life, how to set some meaningful goals for you, some big, exciting, meaningful goals, and learn what's really holding you back right now. We're also going to uncover the confidence needed to move through fear, which is a big thing that a lot of people actually wrote into me about, building that confidence and that sense of confidence within ourselves that we can handle what's coming up when we're moving forward is really key to us living successfully. We're also going to touch on how to cultivate meaningful relationships, a little bit about how to plan your success over time. And now that you're in this group on Facebook or in the email group, you've joined a group of like-minded people striving for success. You guys would not be here if you weren't aiming to get more out of life, if you weren't trying to build bigger and better in your life. So that's really key. So we've got a chance to support and encourage each other here. And we're going to learn how to create a money positive mindset, which is a big thing, and start loving yourself on a deeper level. Now, some people think self-love is a little bit woo-woo or something, but it's very important if we're going to be moving towards the life that we want. So who is this training for? It's basically for people who are optimistic, who feel a little bit stuck in their life right now. Like they just feel like they're up against some walls and they want to transform their mindset so they can take that more action. So it's for those people who really want to find purpose in their lives, feel more confidence, build relationships. The really key is people who are ready to make a bit of a change. And who it's really for is those people who are sick of playing it small. We all have big dreams in our life, and as time goes by, suddenly we start to let those ideas slip away. And what we really want to do is reconnect to them so that we can feel more excited about our life. So we're the creator of our reality, and reality is not just happening to us. So if that's who you are, then you're in the right spot. And yeah, at the end, it's for those people who want to plan their success, make time for it, and start living a happier, more exciting life. All right, sweet. So who am I? For those of you who haven't actually met me personally before, this is just a little bit about me. I'm an accredited life coach. I overcame a condition called chronic fatigue syndrome, which for those of you who don't know is where you're basically just tired all the time. You get sick really easy. Along with that comes a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression, and it's not a great fun time, but that was something that I overcome after having it for about 17 years. I've spent about $30,000 on personal development in the last 4 years, which is a significant amount. I'm an avid personal development junkie, obviously, and I've studied more than 30 books and personal development programs. And when I say study, I'm one of those people who gets the highlighter out, underlines everything, and just reads the same page over and over again because it was so good. I'm also into fitness, and I love my family and friends. I love spending time with those who really mean a lot to me. I'm an ebook writer. Now, I'm really happy about this because that was a journey to write a book, but that was something that was really rewarding, and I thought I'd just share because that felt like an accomplishment, to be honest. I'm an online mindset transformation coach, so I work with people online, not in person. And I'm someone who's had over 170,000 views on Instagram videos and reels. And that's all about mindset transformation. So I've been sharing this information for a while. And I'm someone who also created and ran the online program, Get Unstuck. Now, the most important reason I'm sharing all this with you is because I am a man on a mission. I want to help as many people as I can change their lives through changing their mindset, just like I did through the personal development programs that I studied. And I want to help as many people create a way of being that, that is them, not just like create the results, create a way of being that enables them to take more inspired action. Now, if you're here, you really do dream of connecting to your purpose and figuring out how to live it. figuring out how to live, love, and matter. That's really important. When we think about that at the end of our life, we really want to sit down and go, did I live? And we want to be able to answer that individually, of course. Like, what would it be like to live an amazing life? What experiences would you have? What would it mean to live an amazing life? That's something we need to figure out for ourselves, but we need a little bit of help sometimes figuring out. We also want to say that we loved. And that's really key. We want to say that we loved openly. We didn't hold back. We told people in our lives that were important to us. They really mattered, and we got to experience that love from them and the experience of giving it to them. And we want to feel that our lives mattered. At the end of the day, when we're laying on that bed, we want to feel that our time here meant something to someone, and we've built some kind of legacy that's going to move on. Through all that, we want to learn how to be productive and take more action towards living, loving, and mattering. And we want to feel confident. That's what you're here for. You want to feel more confident about going after these aspects of your life. And we also want to love ourselves a little bit better on a deeper level, to kick out those negative voices that are constantly coming up and holding us back. And we also want to really develop those relationships that mean something. We want to connect to those people that we love. We want to find more like-minded people so we can talk about things we enjoy with them. So if that's what you're dreaming of, then you're in the right spot. Now, I love this. At the end of the day, that's what we all want. We want to live a successful life individual to us. Now, I love Earl Nightingale's definition of that. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. What that means is anyone who has fallen in love with an idea of how they would like to live their life and is progressively working to it every day, that person is a success. Now, it could be a school teacher who always wanted to be a school teacher. That person is living successfully because they're doing what they predetermined and chose to do, not what just fell into their lap. So that's what we need to discover for ourselves if we want to live a successful life. And if you're not living this way right now, it's okay. Don't stress. Don't feel bad about it. It's really hard to win in life with all the negative energy that's going on around us, like social media, the news, negative people in our lives. It all has an effect on us. I mean, I think we've all experienced that through COVID. Everything that happened that we felt that was out of our control, and all the news that got shared, it really kind of just brought about a lot of negativity. And it was a very serious thing, of course, but with that energy, made us feel bad. And when we felt bad, it's really hard for us to do good things. It's hard when you're surrounded by those who have accepted that living a big life is not possible. It's for the lucky ones. If we're around those people, it's really hard because every time we have big dreams, they try and shut it down. And it's hard when you don't feel supported or that you don't have access to the right materials or resources to help you. It's really hard to do this by yourself. It's really hard to do it without the right information, without the right things going on around you. And it's hard when you're being time poor and not having the energy left at the end of the day to move forward. So hopefully we're going to cover some of the ways that we can get around this. So the secret to success is, and this is very simple, but it's very true. We become what we think about. Whatever we're thinking about on a daily basis, that's what we're attracting into our lives. It's really simple, and you can look at it from any different way that you want. Our mind is a very fertile land. It's like a farmer's land. Whatever we plant in there is going to grow. And our mind doesn't really care what it is. The universe doesn't really care. If you plant good ideas and positive images of what it is that you want and how you can do it, that's what you're going to grow. But if you're sitting there planting negative ideas about yourself and what you want, that's also what you're going to get back. It's the secret to Napoleon Hill's classic, I've misspelled it there, Think and Grow Rich, and every personal development book that's ever been written, that we become what we think about. And if you think about why something can't be done, you'll find it. If you think about how it can be done, you'll find ways to get it done. I think it was Henry Ford who said that if you think you can, you're right. And if you think you can't, you're also right. And the reason is, if you don't think you can, you won't try. If you think you can, you will. So it's not just negative results that cause our destination. It's also our thinking about them. So whatever's going on in your life right now, whatever you're thinking about that's further perpetuating the results that you're getting. So if we can shift our thinking and start seeing it as this is happening for me to learn this so that I can move forward, then our whole life starts to change. Now, maybe you're skeptical of mindset transformation. When I came up with the concept of mindset transformation for what I was going to be doing, I thought maybe people wouldn't really understand it. So maybe you think that you don't really have time. Maybe it sounds like a lot of work, and maybe that could be true, but the benefits are always going to be outweighing the negatives when you start to transform the way that you think. Maybe you think it's a bit woo-woo or part of some weird cult. You know, don't drink the Kool-Aid, I think is one of the sayings that people say when it's about a cult. And, you know, we've seen on social media so many people just posting, live your best life. You can do this amazing thing. And after a while, sometimes it just gets a little bit old. Maybe you're scared to invest in yourself as you need to know some tangible outcome to justify it. A lot of us don't want to actually invest in something until we know that we're going to get something from it. And when we start investing in ourselves, it's really hard to do that to start off with, because we're like, well, I need money. I need these other things to happen before I can work on myself. But you are the person who's creating your results. So if you're not working on yourself and you're not trying to move forward, you're not going to get any better results. And maybe you're scared to let go of the old version of your life because it's comfortable. That's a big one. I felt that really hard when I decided to get into this. I started noticing things changing in my life, and it was a little bit uncomfortable, but then as soon as they started shifting, it became the most amazing experience. So why even try to develop your mindset and change the way you think? The real reason is to have things you've never had, you must first do things you've never done. I'd never really read personal development books or studied and tried to figure out how to have big goals. But when I did it, suddenly I started getting things that I'd never had before. I started feeling happier. I started feeling more fulfilled. So if you don't want to start transforming your mindset, I've got to ask you, do you want to actually change? Do you want things in your life to actually get better? Because if you do, you're going to have to do things that you haven't done before. And I love how Albert Einstein said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we use to create them. Our mind is kind of set. That's why they call it mindset. So we have a level of thinking. And whenever we start thinking thoughts outside of that, our mind wants to bring us back to what's comfortable. So if we're going to actually change the results in our life, we're going to have to change where our mind is set. And that means the thinking that we're involved in. So this was me. For those of you who don't really know, yeah, it's a little bit of a sad photo. Sorry, guys, if that's a bit of a Debbie Downer. That was after I reached a point in my life where I knew I had to change. I was just going through a breakup. Things were not going well. I was addicted to 3 really strong prescriptions for pain and sleep, Lyrica, clonazepam, and temazepam. Been on for 6 years. I never had any money for the nicer things in life. If people wanted to go out for dinner, I'd have to check my bank account. And then I'd stress the entire time. Maybe another bill would come out and I wasn't going to be able to pay. And I'd always be stopping and starting projects without finishing anything, because I'd start doing it, it'd get hard and I'd quit. And I was hating the work that I was doing at the time because it's so hard to do with the little amount of energy that I had. I actually really liked the job, but I hated how I was just letting people down all the time. I hated that I couldn't work that many hours. So I was sick for a week every month. So I was only on average able to work about 24 hours a week. I was suffering from depression, anxiety. I was very angry at the world, and I thought it was against me. I thought, why is this happening to me? And I was very broke, I had no self-confidence, and I was too scared to back myself. So I had some big dreams still. I think we all do, but there was no action. So I reached the breaking point from that photo after me and my partner went through a breakup, when she said to me, I can't be with someone who has already given up on life. Now that hit me really hard. I was sitting on, what am I doing? I'm 32 years old. I've got no money. I've got really poor health. I've got not like that many good friends. I don't feel very connected to the people in my life. And I knew that I had to change. So I actually Googled self-help seminars, and that's where everything kind of started off from. At the seminar, I met this amazing lady who is on the kind of top right for you guys. She's a mindset development consultant. That's actually a picture of me and her in Marbella, Spain, at a retreat in front of like a $15 million villa that we stayed at for a week. And there's, I think, 20 of us all up, and there's another photo underneath of all of us there studying mindset. I started listening to what she was saying at that seminar. I had so many aha moments. She was just talking about how the mind worked, and suddenly it just became really clear to me. I'm like, hang on, it's not the world that's against me. It's just I'm not thinking about the right things. I've been programmed from my childhood, from everything that was going on around me, to believe certain things about myself that are just not true. And it was no one else's fault. Those were the things that I'd accepted as true. So after I signed up and started working on my mindset, a lot of things changed really quickly. And within a short amount of time, I was able to work full-time hours and still have energy to see my friends. I remember working a full-time week for the first time in forever. And then I went for a 5K run on a Friday. And I remember, like, so clearly, just like getting down on the ground and just crying, so happy, like can't even express it. It's like one of the most magical moments of my life. And I was able to buy my ex-partner out of the house that we had and turn it into an investment property. That was pretty cool. I was really proud of myself for that. I started making more money. I made new incredible friends. I got off all my pain prescriptions. Don't go cold turkey on Lyrica, clonazepam, and temazepam all at once. It will feel like you're going cold turkey on heroin. But I was really proud that I got through that. And I increased my income by like 50%. My health and energy improved. I started getting new opportunities at work. I ended up doing sales trips. My relationships improved across the board. And I started believing in myself and actually started taking action and moving towards things in my life. And one thing I also did was I bought my version of a dream car, which is a Holden station wagon. For most people, you probably won't be able to get behind that. But the first time I ever saw that car, I thought it was the coolest thing. And when I actually went to the dealership, I was looking at a different one. And I hopped into that one instead. And I started driving it. I'm like, there's twice as much as I wanted to pay. And it just felt like mine straight away. And I don't know why, but I just felt really confident I could do it. And it is nearly paid off. And that was like 4 years ago. So very proud of that as well. Then I decided to become that really annoying guy on Instagram. I started deciding that I should share all these things that I was learning with people and try and start motivating other people, because I thought it was just so cool what was happening in my life. I did lose a few friends at that time. Whether that's related, it was definitely related. So I did lose a few friends, but I gained some really amazing connections, and new people just started coming into my life that were on my level and who were also moving ahead. So it was just an incredible experience. Then I decided maybe I should start upping my game on this. So during COVID, I actually ran a few mindset webinars similar to this on specific things that were coming up for people that I was talking to. And then after that, I kept upping my game. I decided, well, maybe I should get qualified. Maybe I should actually start learning how to coach people. Maybe I should read some more books. I bought more books. I studied more courses. I went to more events and got more certificates. And after learning how to actually coach people, I started doing that. This is a lovely message that I got from my first paying client after we've been working together for a little bit. She managed to find this new job and build the confidence to actually go after this this job that she wanted to change from one place of work to another, and ended up paying more than she thought, and ended up being this great experience for her. So I saved that one because that was like a really special moment. And then I kept doing it. I just kept coaching more people. I built my own website. I started doing more one-to-one coaching, and I ended up eventually running my own online group program, which was the first thing that I did, which started all my growth. And these are some messages from the people who actually went through my program. So they're pretty cool. I enjoyed reading them as well. And so through all this working with people, my clients started increasing their sense of purpose and getting really clear on what they were working on and what that looked like and the steps that they needed to take. They started developing more confidence to make those changes. They started increasing their self-belief. There was pay increases. There was new job opportunities that came in for them. They started having difficult conversations with the people in their lives that they loved so that they could actually build relationships that they would really enjoy. They made new connections with like-minded people. I love that I can see some of the people from the group just commenting on each other's posts on Facebook. And it's just really, really great that they're still connected in that way. They also developed a bit more inner peace and self-love. So they started really believing in themselves. And they started to get a drive cultivated from within. Now, it's really powerful when you think about that. When you start finding out what your purpose is, you start getting driven from within. It doesn't feel like work when you're connected to something that's really meaningful. So let's actually get into the masterclass. That's enough of me waffling on about that. How to transform your mindset and take more inspired action. Today, we're going to uncover your purpose and how to live it each day. We're going to unlock some confidence needed to move through fear, and we're going to learn how to seek out and cultivate relationships crucial to your dream life. Now, we're also going to go into how to consistently and purposefully take action so you can avoid procrastination. Now, that is a big one. I think a lot of us could definitely limit our procrastination if we could. So let's start off by thinking about purpose. What is it? Your purpose can be said to be your guiding star, the aiming point at which you direct your life's efforts. Now, I want you to think about that. Your guiding star, the thing that you're directing your life efforts towards. Right now, do you feel that you have that? You have something that within you that's driving you forward, like a point that you're aiming towards or a difference you're trying to make that you're really connected to. Now, it's an individual orientation that brings meaning to your past experiences and drive to overcome future obstacles towards its fulfillment. Now, it's really important. It's very individual. Your purpose can't be chosen by other people. You're going to have to actually figure it out yourself, what your purpose is. In short, it's your why. And it's really easy to tell when someone has a purpose or not. And you can tell by the way that they're behaving. You know, there's some urgency or necessity to the way that they move, to the way that they approach life. You can see them, they're moving quickly, they're organized because they know it's important, because they want to move towards this thing. And sometimes it's a good sense of purpose, or sometimes it can be an unhelpful or detrimental reasoning. So we've all seen people who are slogging away really hard because they think that they have to, but they haven't actually figured out how to live their purpose in a way that actually brings them more joy, or that they can find a little bit more energy in. We've all seen people who are working really hard and they're just like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this. And that kind of purpose can be really detrimental to our health and well-being. So as we go through life and different experiences, our purpose evolves and presents us with room to grow. When we were like 10 years old, we may have still had a sense of our purpose, but the way that we were living at that time is probably a lot different to now. The way that we were realizing or living out that purpose was a lot different. And your purpose will give you a fixed orientation or set of values, but many different ways to live at a different time. So when you discover your purpose, you'll find that there's certain things that you start valuing more. If you look at what it is that you're trying to create, there'll be certain aspects of life that are more important than others. And we're going to dive into that in a bit. For us to live meaningful lives, we need a purpose that really means something to us on an individual level. And it also has to help the people that we wish to help. I love the idea that our purpose is also service orientated. It's not just about us, it's about something bigger than ourselves. And when we start to question our motives and what really matters to us, we can start to uncover what's truly meaningful. And then when we find what's truly meaningful, we find our destiny. So purpose is something that we all want. We all want lives to mean something when it's all said and done, and to know what we did with our time here mattered. And for everyone, it's unique and a beautiful thing. And here's something that I found really powerful. The feeling that you get when you connect to your purpose is something that's really beautiful and it's hard to describe. For some reason, you start to feel guided from within. Everything that's going on around you suddenly just kind of like fades away, and you start to get like this beautiful sense of like tunnel vision. It's like this flow. It's no longer like you're in the driver's seat. It feels like you're being guided by something else more powerful than yourself. You're actually taking the energy of the universe and directing it towards what you want to create. And the universe starts helping you. Why? Because you're showing that you're actually connected to something that's meaningful. It fills you with drive, energy, determination. It gives you ideas, and you feel spontaneously compelled to act. It's really important. When you're really connected to your purpose, procrastination gets limited because you're not really distracted. Now, this is really important. Why don't I feel connected to a purpose? If you're listening to this, you're like, I don't really know what he's talking about. Some of the reasons might be that you're really stressed and anxious right now. If you're really stressed and anxious, it's really hard because you're very focused within on all the pain that you're experiencing. And when I was really stressed and anxious, and when I get that way, I actually really struggle to do my work. It's really key to know this. And so when we're worrying about the worst that could happen, we start becoming more fixated on what's just happening in this small circle around us and our thoughts and how bad they are and the feelings that we're experiencing. Now, this causes us to worry what other people think of us. We start feeling trapped by our current situation. And one of the main things that causes us to disconnect from our purpose is consuming too much content that's distracting you. We're taking too many different ideas from the news, from social media, that's causing us to forget about what we're actually here to do. So we need to take some time and space away from all that. We need to sit there and just breathe and relax a little bit and go, what am I here to do? What's the meaning behind my life? And when we start doing that, we're looking outside of ourselves. It's not about us anymore. We're not focused on ourselves. We're focused about ourselves in the world. And if we're feeling like a victim and we're always complaining, it will distract you from your purpose and you won't feel connected to it. And any type of negative thinking about the world and that there's nothing you can do about it will also distract you. Now, the things to keep in mind when uncovering your purpose. It shouldn't be rushed because it's found in your own individual experience of life. So you need to really dive deep into that. It's individual to each of us. And when you feel connected to it, it gives you strength. That's what I was talking about before. And a person connected strongly to their purpose has a burning desire to live it. And that's where that power really comes from. So if you want to uncover your purpose, I highly suggest that you screenshot this screen and answer these questions later on today or in your own time. So I want you to think about these areas. If you don't feel like you've got a purpose, I want you to really ponder these. When have I felt a deep sense of meaning in my life? What experiences have I had where if I look back through my life, they actually felt really meaningful. I felt connected. I felt driven to achieve something because this was happening in my life. What were those experiences? Write them down. What topic, experience, or situation do you love talking about with others? So what topics do you just love to discuss? Is it mindset? Is it sport? Why is that? That's the important thing. It's not about what you're talking about. It's why are you so compelled to talk about it all the time? What are you getting out of it? What pains have you experienced in your life that you don't want others to have? Me personally, having chronic fatigue syndrome and having that horrible experience really made me want to be like, hey, I found a way to eliminate this problem from my life. I want to help other people not experience this. And that's a really powerful thing. So our purpose can be found in our pain. And what experiences brought you great joy and you highly encourage others to give a go. So I want you to think about the things that you're recommending to other people. Like, I'm always telling people to go on park run. And the reason for that is every time I do it, I feel amazing. So I know that that's part of my purpose is to encourage other people to do things that get them to feel really good, to get them to feel healthy and give them that mental well-being. So as we're answering these questions, we really start illuminating to ourselves, hang on, these are the elements of life that I really enjoy talking about. These are the pains I've had, and these are some of the ways that I could help people. And crucially, at the end, in what area do others ask for your help and why? So what are people coming to you with in terms of problems? What are they telling you about? Now, you won't tell someone about something unless you think they can help you. Otherwise, that's just complaining or that's just really self-indulgent. If people are coming to you and they've got a problem and it keeps presenting, that's probably going to be part of your purpose. So anyone truly connected to a purpose bigger than themselves will persist through challenges and do so willingly and with inner peace. Oh, doesn't that just sound really good? I want you to read that again. Anyone truly connected to a purpose bigger than themselves will persist through challenges and do so willingly and with inner peace. It's great because that's how we can eliminate some of that anxiety and depression, is when we start working towards our purpose and something bigger than us and more meaningful for the world. We start to allow us to feel ourselves that inner peace. Now, it might be hard, it might be difficult, but there'll be this like guiding piece within us that just keeps pushing us forward. And I love it. It's not about how far you can go. It's about how many people you can take with you. I love that. That's beautiful. So next, we need to kind of start thinking about our highest values, because we've illuminated our purpose. We're starting to think about, why am I here? What am I going to do with my life? And hopefully for you guys, as you're listening to that, some ideas started coming up. from some of the questions, and there's a desire within you to actually even find your purpose. But after you start exploring what your purpose might be, it's kind of hard to decide how to actually live it. So I've seen people before who've come up with, this is my purpose, and then they decide these are the values I need to live by to get there. And this causes them problems because they're not actually their values. They're values that they've given themselves to try and get somewhere. Now, if we discover our purpose, we've also got to do it in a way that's authentic to us. We can't just decide that we're going to use means values, which are values that we use to get somewhere. So if I want to have a happy family and be an amazing dad, that's my purpose. I've got to work really hard, provide heaps of money, and just slog it out. Now, if I live by those values, it's going to be really hard for me to be a good dad if I'm always busy, if I'm never there. If I keep thinking, oh, when I get to a certain point in my career, then I'll be able to be a good dad. It's not how it works. We need to start living the value of being a good dad at the same time, because that's part of our purpose. So we have what's called a hierarchy of values. Everyone has some things that they prioritize more than others. So if we have a look at some of these words, some of them are going to stand out more to you than others. If we just read through them, have a look at some of them, they're going to stand out to you more than others. And this starts to illuminate to you what you find really valuable, like you place a high value on in your life. And to help you illuminate some of your values, I've put these questions here. I highly suggest that you screenshot this as well and answer these questions at a later date, just so that you can really start to figure out what your highest values are. So what do you fill your personal or virtual space with, and why? So if you've got heaps of books around, why are they there? If you've got pictures of your family, why are they there? If we answer that question, we start to really figure out what our values are. And how do you spend most of your time? What activities energize you, or what are others doing that inspires you? I love reading books, and I love watching other people in the mindset development industry present videos on how to transform your mindset. So whenever I watch them and I'm watching other people do it, that inspires me. And sometimes when I'm playing tennis, or I watch the Australian Open or something like that afterwards, I just feel really inspired to go out and act and play some tennis and be healthy. So go through those questions and answer them, and you'll start to illuminate some of your highest values. Now, when we're living congruently with our highest values, we feel that our actions align with a meaningful purpose. We feel fulfilled, happy, and motivated. So finding your purpose and living it through your highest values is how you minimize procrastination, basically. Now, we need to orientate this purpose and highest values. Purpose gives you a direction to aim. Values gives you a bow and arrow to shoot, but goals give us a specific and direct target to shoot at. A person without a goal is like a ship without a rudder. I love that. So we've got our purpose. We start figuring out how we want to live our lives. Now we need something to aim at. There are 3 types of goals that we can set. One, there's an A type. So it's what we already know how to do. So if you've lost 10 kilos before and you've put it back on, you can say, okay, I'm going to do that again. Now, there's not much growth involved in that. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, but it just means it shouldn't be the focus point. It's not big enough right now to help you to grow. A type B goal is what we think we could do. So if A, B, C, and D, and E happen, I could achieve this. So that's where most people set their goals. They go, if I do this, 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 and this. But unfortunately, there's not much imagination or creativity involved in that. So it's not really that exciting, and it usually causes people to fizzle out over time. So what we really want is a C-type goal. That's what we really want, but we have no idea how to accomplish it. It's like we're down here, our A-type goals are here, our B-type goals are a little bit up, and our C-type goals are just like, holy crap, I've got no idea how to do this. Now that's exciting because that uses our imagination, and that gives us something really big to shoot at. And if we're going to figure out our C-type goals, there's a few different areas that we should ask ourselves the questions. If anything was possible and there were no limitations, what would you choose? If you were to pick a personal goal, just something for you, what would you choose? Would it be an amount of money, a nice home, a relationship, maybe a child? If you were to pick a big C-type goal for your professional goal, to do with the service that you want to provide in your career, or as like maybe a full-time parent, if that's what your career is or your focus point right now. And then we also want to have some C-type goals for toys, adventures, and fun. So travel, maybe a car, maybe an e-bike, clothes, or maybe an experience that you really want to have. So when we're starting to think about this, what we're doing is we're engaging our imagination. We're starting to actually get excited about what we could possibly have. And the last one is a contribution goal. What's the real big difference that you would like to have, like in terms of maybe volunteering or a charity you'd like to set up? What's a really big difference that you would like to make? Now, why have we stopped going after our dreams? To understand this, we need to understand how we've been programmed over our life. Now, we think about 60,000 thoughts a day, and they are in harmony with the way that we've been programmed to think. Our brain is essentially like a supercomputer. It's just running thoughts and programs that we've established out through our life's experiences and through the information that we've taken in, that's just running on repeat. And the more that these programs are just left running by themselves, they're causing our behavior. It's like a computer that's just full of all these different programs that are running simultaneously. So if we can learn how to reprogram our mind to clear up that clutter, to direct those 60,000 thoughts towards what we really want, then we're going to become more productive individuals. So our conscious mind, if you guys haven't been through this before, our conscious mind is responsible for about 2 to 5% of our behavior. So our conscious mind is our thinking. So it's like when we think, oh, I'm thirsty, we reach for a glass of water. Now, our subconscious mind is in charge of all of our automatic behaviors. So I don't have to think about how to grab a glass of water. I have the thought, oh, I need a drink. I reach over, my arm picks it up and moves it to me without me having to do anything. That's where all my programming is. So if we start looking at this, what we start realizing is that what we're actually thinking and when we make a decision, that's actually not responsible for much of our behavior. Our programming is. The things that we're doing automatically without even thinking about. Now, our conscious mind, the part that's responsible for 2 to 5%, is hooked up to the world around us. So we see, hear things, we smell them, we taste things and we touch them, and that causes us to have a thought. And that goes through our automatic response to that thought, and then that causes our behavior. So it causes our body to do what it's going to do. Now, in our conscious mind, in that thinking part of our mind, we have some mental faculties. We have the ability to reason with the information. If we see the glass of water, I can say, oh, that's half full, or no, that's, that looks tasty, or that doesn't look tasty, based on my memory of what I think about water. We have the ability to change our perception from a different place or perception. We have willpower, which is our self-discipline and ability to focus. We also have an intuitive factor, which means when we get that, like, kind of like a sixth sense. So we start feeling a certain way and we're like, well, something's up or something's wrong. That's part of our conscious thinking mind. And we also have an imagination. So that's our ability to create new images. So even though we've got all these amazing powers within our mind and they're connected up to the world, it's still only causing about 2 to 5% of our behavior. So if we're looking around and seeing things that make us think, oh, I want to be healthy, I want to be fit, why aren't we doing it? Now, the reason for that is our conscious mind has the ability to accept or reject information. But as a baby, we hadn't developed our ability to think. So everything that went on around us went straight into our programming. We heard people say, this is your name, and they kept saying it over and over again. And we didn't have the ability to think, oh, no, that doesn't sound like my name. If our parents said blue was red, we didn't have the conscious ability at that point to disagree. If they said money was bad, if they said this race of people are not good, it just went all into our conscious, subconscious mind, into our programming, because we didn't have the ability to accept or reject it. We just accepted it as real and true. And then as soon as we become a little bit older, it doesn't really matter, because a lot of our programming has been set by the time I think we're about 4 years old or 5 years old. So even though we've got this powerful thinking mind with all these different powers, we've got this subconscious mind, which is running all of these programs and all these beliefs about ourselves. It's where our beliefs, our programming and ideas that we've accepted are stored and executed in behavior. So even if we start thinking a certain way, it's really hard for us to behave a certain way until we start changing the way that we're programmed to think. So there's only 2 real ways to change the programming. One is an emotional impact. So going through a breakup, that could be one of them. Or maybe a smoker has a heart attack and then something like that pain, I never want to do that again. And it overrides all their beliefs about, I can't quit because it's too hard. They're like, well, no, this has to happen because otherwise I'm going to die. And the other way that we can change the programming in our subconscious mind is through constant spaced repetition of a new idea that overpowers the old program. So that's pretty cool. That's what study and going through mindset transformation is about. It's the constant spaced repetition of new ideas that suddenly gain a little bit of emotional power, and they start replacing ideas and beliefs that were stored in our subconscious mind. So we need to understand that if we're going to go through the next part, confidence. This is the part that I think most people are here for. It's the feeling or belief that one can have faith in or rely on someone or something. So if we start to look at our programming, we can start to understand why we do or don't have confidence in certain situations in our life. Because confidence is an inside job. If we want to go ask someone out, but we have stored in our programming, no, it's really hard to be in a relationship. They cause pain. I saw my parents fighting all the time. I don't really want a relationship. I saw them really struggle. Even if we want it, our subconscious mind, where we're programmed and all the deep-seated beliefs we have is going to run the show. We don't want to aim for the fake it until you make it type confidence either. We want real confidence. We want to change that programming so that we can believe that we can actually have something that we want. So if you could choose an area of your life to have more confidence in, I just want you to think for a second, what would you like to have more confidence in? If you could develop the confidence in any area, what would you choose? For most people, it's confidence to be good with money, to be in a relationship, to go to the gym, whatever it is. But we need to really pick an area. The way that we develop confidence is there are three different areas that confidence actually is made up by. It's our knowledge of what that situation. So if we want to go to the gym, it's our knowledge of how to work out. It's our skills and abilities. Do we know how to do the exercises? And it's our experience. Have we been to the gym before? And was it a fun experience? Did we do well? If we look at any area of our life and break it down into these three areas, then we're going to start to realize why we have the level of confidence that we do. But we need to also break down knowledge, because we have it on two different levels. We have it on an intellectual level, which is part of the conscious mind, what we can know, and we can get that through books, through podcasts, through study. But then we have knowledge in the form of new empowering beliefs or limiting beliefs about ourselves. So we can learn, we can read a how-to book, but if we don't think in our programmed mind that we're able to do it, it's still not really going to help us. And that's because the intellectual knowledge is only responsible for 2 to 5% of our behavior. And the knowledge that we have about ourselves and what we're capable of and what we're going to expect from our beliefs is responsible for 95 to 98% of your behavior. So we have to then move on to the next area, skills and abilities. If we want to improve our abilities and build confidence, we need to answer some questions. What specific skills do I need, or do I already have that I need to develop more? Where can I learn these skills, or from who? And what actions can I take to improve my abilities? Abilities are something that can be kind of transferred from one thing to another. If you're really good at basketball, then you could assume that you'd be okay at netball. So you'd actually have a bit of confidence because some skills and abilities transfer. But we need to actually think, if I want to be really confident in this area, what abilities do I need to develop? And then we can start to get to work on them. And the experience is, what experiences in the past can I draw from? So if you've played basketball before, you can draw from that. You've been there, you've been in a team situation, you've thrown a ball around, you didn't get hurt, you lived, it's okay. So, and then also, how can I gain more experience? Well, I can actually go out and throw a ball around with someone else, if that's what you wanted to do. I don't know if anyone wants to play netball here, but there you go. So how can you use this information? Confidence is what we want to feel when we're going after an opportunity so that we can overcome fear and move through it successfully. So what we're really doing by building knowledge, skills, and seeking experience is getting prepared for our opportunities. That's what we're really doing. If we want to start dating, we need to start knowing some things about ourselves, that we're a catch, that we're a good person, that we can offer something to the other person that's valuable. We want to start developing our skills and abilities. So that means our ability to ask questions, to speak, to be engaging, to listen to someone else so that we can have that successful first date. And if we want to build the experience, we can draw on conversations that we've had with coworkers or something like that so that we can build that confidence. Or we can ask a friend, hey, what do you think about these questions if I was to ask them on a date? How would you feel about them? So then we can get a sense of experience to move forward. So to start building confidence, just follow those steps. and you can feel more confident about anything in your life. Now, that's one of the key areas that I work with people on. So if you do have any questions about that, I highly recommend that you reach out to me. And keep in mind that confidence is an inside job. It's not something that you need to work on alone. So talk to people who look like they're confident in this area. Do that. Seek out a confidence coach. Talk to some friends about how they've confidently done this action that you want to do. Now, always remember that you've got to do it by yourself. So you've got to commit to doing it, but you can't do it alone. We always need other people to help us in the form of books or personal coaches or friends. We need people. So the secret to amazing relationships, and this comes on the back of confidence and goals, because we're starting to realize what our purpose is and how we can confidently go after it. The secret to it is givers gain. Great relationships are built on this giving and receiving. Now, if you had a friend who was always taking, would you want to be their friend? If they were just always asking for favors or never asking how you were, no. You want someone who's going to give to you as much as you're going to give to them. So in order for us to get something, we need to give something. We can only get back what we give. I want you to keep that in mind. So are you willingly giving your talents? Are you helping people? Your love? Are you actually really actively loving people? Because that enables them to love you back. And are you giving support and encouragement to those that you love? Those are some really big questions to ask. If you don't have the relationships that you want right now, these are some amazing questions to ask. Or are you saying to a wood heater, this is a great one, if you give me heat, then I'll give you the wood. If you love me, then I'll love you back. If you give to me, then I'll give to you. There's a law of cause and effect. If we're always waiting for someone to do something for us before we'll do it for them, it's not going to happen. It's like I said, it's like you need to put the wood in the fire before you get the heat. So there's one rule to live by, and I love this. Leave everyone you meet with the impression of increase. If you want amazing relationships, to develop better friendships, to get more opportunities at work and in life, make this a rule in your life. I leave everyone I meet with the impression of increase. Now, it's kind of easy to do if you follow just this one rule. If it seems like too much, like, how can I increase life for everyone? How can I just go around and just give to people? Do I have to give them money? Do I have to? No, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is give them sincere, merited praise. That's it. Everyone does something well, and if you bring it to their attention that you have noticed this, they will instantly feel valued, happy, and proud. How many times have you received a compliment and you've just remembered it for years? And you always remember that that one person said that thing to you. When I learned this, I made it one of my missions was to just compliment the people that I love in my life about the things I noticed that they do well. My mum, it's like she's just so giving. My dad, he would just do anything for us. I just constantly remind them, I'm so happy that you're my mum and my dad because of these things. And I mentioned to my friends, you do this so well. And they always remember, it lights them up. And it's really easy to do. But it's not false praise. This is really key. Don't just go making up things that you think are really good about them. Actually really look for what they do well. And when you do this, what you're actually doing is finding the good in the other person. And when you start feeling like thinking good thoughts about another person, it causes you to have a better relationship with them. So I want you to think about this for a second. Who do you want to leave with the impression of increase right now? Which relationships in your life do you really want to better? Just have a moment to think about that. Think about the people in your life who you would love to improve the relationship with. What do they do well? Tell them. Very simple. What do they do well? Tell them. What is one thing that you could do for them that they would really appreciate? And just do it. It doesn't have to be a big thing. You don't have to build someone's fence for them or, house sit their house for a year while they're overseas. What's just one thing that they would really appreciate that you know about them? Maybe it's your partner likes chocolate. So once a week, you just buy a different chocolate. Really easy to do. Maybe it's that you need to help out around the house. So you just do the washing while your partner's at work. Or maybe you help a friend out by just like helping them with a little thing that they need. Remember, givers gain. So this is really important. So I hope you guys are with me so far because we've covered so much, and I hope that you're feeling excited by what we've spoken about, because it's giving you some things that you can work on now. If you want to gain that more confidence, you know that you've got to increase your knowledge intellectually, but also emotionally about yourself. You've got to build those skills and abilities, and you've got to seek out that experience. It might sound a little bit overwhelming because suddenly you're like, oh crap, I've got to do stuff now. I just wanted to sit here and just learn and have my mind transformed, and then me just go off and just do things now. That's a little bit about how it works, but not really at the same time. So at the moment, you really have two choices. Unfortunately, I cannot share everything I know with you in 1 hour. It's just not possible for me. I'm sorry, but there is another way. So what I've actually done is I've created an amazing offer that I want you guys to take seriously and have a think about, so that you can take on to the next part of your journey to get to this new level of thinking really confidently, of finding your purpose. So there's two options. One, you can go off and do this alone, which is completely fine. A lot of people go to events, they read books, and then they do it themselves. But a lot of them waste a lot of time because they start, they stop, they read a little bit, they get distracted because there's no real accountability. If they read the book or don't read the book, no one's going to stop them. If they do the thing or don't do the thing, no one's really going to tell you off. So you don't have that accountability, and it's likely that you'll slip back to the thinking that got you to the same point in the first place. The other option is you can learn what works from my personal journey, and I can help you find purpose, build your confidence, and start changing your programming so you can get guaranteed results and you can experience the change that you seek. So I'm just going to present to you a little bit about what it is that I do with people. So just in case you are interested, and this is what a lot of coaches do. So even if it's not me, you'll get an idea of what other people are doing if you want to also seek out other people. Because I know I'm not for everyone. I'm not that person who thinks that I can solve everyone's problems. That is not me. Your first thought is probably, okay, this training was interesting, but what would working with a mindset transformation coach actually focus on? Because it sounds a little bit like vague. I get that. And this is what it is. It's my 12-week live training group online program, Get Unstuck. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what it is so you can get an idea of what you would get in such a program. There's 12 weeks, and in the different months, we focus on different areas. So the first one is purpose. The second one is confidence. The third one is relationships, but it all relates to transforming your mindset and taking more action. So we start working on finding your purpose. We spend a whole week on this. It's really important that we do, because we need to really dive deep if we're going to find a really, truly meaningful purpose for us. So how to find your why and connect to what truly matters. Then we move on to living your values, how to live a life that you really enjoy by doing more of what you love. When you illuminate your values, you can actually find a way to get to your goal with enjoying the journey. We start setting some worthy goals, how to set them. That's what we go through in that week. And we start getting excited about these really big goals that we could have, and we start exploring ways of how we can get there. And the fourth week, we go into the steps to success, which is how to plan your goals out so you know exactly what steps to take. I always notice that the plan always changes, but I love how Steve Jobs said, you can't find the way looking forward, you can only connect the dots looking backwards. So what we do is we come up with a plan of how we can get to our goal, and we start connecting all the dots so we can start illuminating what skills we need, what we need to work on, what actions, what confidence we need in what areas. And then from there, we keep moving forward into the paradigms and programming. So we learn how to reprogram your mind so you're able to break free of limiting beliefs. That's very, very important, because once you've got your goal, you've got your purpose, then you start experiencing the fear that comes up with getting excited about a big goal and looking towards and going, I don't know how to do this. So we start reprogramming our mind into a positive mindset so we can move forward. Then we go through the believers achieve. And that's a great lesson, because it's how to learn to believe in yourself, basically. How to learn to believe that you can achieve so much more than you're capable of. And that's really key, because you'll never go beyond where you believe you can go. So if we want to go for a goal that's right up there, we're going to have to raise our level of belief in ourselves to meet it. The self-image of success, so that's where we really step into that confidence and that identity of confidence. Then we go through the way through fear, which is a whole lesson dedicated to how you can overcome fear on the way to your goal. What's happening in your mind, what's happening in your life, how it's presenting in your body, and what it all means. Then in the last part of the program, we go through the key to loving yourself. So how to use love of yourself to break through doubt, develop self-care and pride. That's very, very important. We need to learn how to love ourselves on a daily basis, because as soon as we start going after these big goals, we can get anxious and then we stop looking after ourselves. We need to be able to look after our most important instrument, our body and our mind, while we're still going towards these big things. The relationships of successful living. So how to develop really great relationships that are going to nurture you through this process of going after something really big and meaningful. The impression of increase. So how to give. And we're going to dive into a lot deeper than I did in this, of course. And then making life work for you. We really need to take this all and put it together so that we've got like a plan to continuously keep moving towards our goal, living our highest values, feeling purpose-driven, building our confidence over a long period of time. It's not just going to happen in this 12 weeks. What's going to happen at the end of the 12 weeks is you're going to obviously be more confident in moving forward, but you're going to need to know what to do to keep doing it after the program. So that's what we focus on. So here's what's included in the program. So this is basically the offer that I have at the moment. There's 12 weeks of live 60-minute lesson facilitations, basically like this presentation, except for we focus on one key area. For a whole hour, there's questions. We do like mindset meditations and visualizations to really open up your mind so that you can move forward in the lesson that we're studying. There's 12 written lessons to study and transform the way that you think. So there's, like I said before, whatever's going on around you right now will just keep going on into your mind, into your subconscious mind, and affecting your behavior. So there's some specific information that if you read it through a few times, it'll actually start influencing your paradigms and your programming so that you start achieving more with ease. It'll just become part of your natural way of being. Then there's 12 worksheets to go along with each lesson, and you answer them at your own time. There's 12 weeks of 90-minute workshops where you get to interact, go through fun exercises, ask questions, and step in the person you want to be on that call. So we do each of these each week. So just one lesson that's a facilitation. Then there's a lesson that you get to read. There's a piece of writing. There's the worksheets that you answer that you can do in your own time. And then there's a workshop where we put all this together and we really spend that time building up this confidence and reprogramming our subconscious mind. You also get access to the client-only Facebook group. Now, this is really important. I found that when I was going through my program, actually connecting to the other people that were doing it really, really helped me. In the programs that I've done, I've actually built some amazing friendships. And when I first joined, they said, oh, this is really important. I actually didn't think it was going to be that big a deal. I thought I was just going to do my own thing. But when you connect with other people who are like-minded, who support and encourage your ideas without any judgment, it's really, really powerful. So you will meet some new people in this course, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. You also get a one 90-minute one-to-one session with me where we discover your purpose. Even though we've got the group stuff, sometimes you're going to really need to dive deep on an individual lesson. And that's why I've put in some one-on-one coaching sessions into this program. You're also going to get 4 one-to-one program coaching sessions with me throughout the whole time that you're doing the program. So you can choose when you want to use them, whenever you're starting to feel stuck or there's something you want to dive into deeper. But you also get text support. So you can just message me. If you're studying something, you're like, I don't really understand this. How do I do that? You can send me a message through email or Signal, and we'll work together in that way, and I can support you. But you also get an accountability buddy. Now, this is really important because accountability is the glue that sticks a decision to a result. It's really easy to come up with a decision and not do anything. But as soon as you tell someone or become responsible to someone else that you're going to do it, it improves your chances of success by like 90%. So that's highly valuable, having someone that's going to keep you accountable. You also get my own mindset shifting tricks and tools to help you form new habits and connect deeply to your purpose. That's really key. I've got little exercises that you can do at different times, and you'll actually really feel that you're able to start just shifting your mind at will. You'll start having negative things that come up and you'll go, oh, I'll just use that thing that Dave taught me, or David taught me, whichever one you want to call me, I don't mind. And then you'll be able to actually create that shift in the moments when you need to. And you also get working with me specifically for 12 weeks and changing the direction of your life. And I've put in brackets there or bold, it's priceless. I just remember those MasterCard ads. So it's like, we've got working personally with me for 12 weeks and changing the direction of your life forever, priceless. Well, yeah. And the last thing that I've added in is there's some bonus guided meditations and visualization exercises, which I only give out to clients. So they're recordings that I've got that are relevant to the material that we're going through that you can listen to as kind of like a bit of a self-hypnosis, but they're like a meditation and visualization to get those conscious faculties of your mind starting to work towards building the image of what it is that you want and starting to really step into the vibration of the person that you want to be. So that's what is included in the 12-week program of working with me. If that's something that you're interested in, and if you want to just take a moment right now and think about what would my life be like in 12 weeks time if I really committed to transforming how I think so that I take a hell of a lot of more inspired action that would actually get me where I want to be in life. Like, what would my life be like if I really committed to going after my purpose, to really defining my goals and feeling truly confident, like I could actually really do this? What would your life be like? And the last part is, are you ready and willing to take your life to that next level? I feel like there's times in our life where we're just sick and tired of being where we are. And we really want to just go to that next level. We just go, I just want out of here. I want to go forward and I'm ready to do it. I don't care what it takes. I'm doing it. So here's some of the feedback that I've had so far from, I ran this program for 5 weeks. So it was a very shortened version I think it was the end of last year. And here are some of the bits of feedback that I got from people. I love the first one. I've spent 10 years studying all the self-development books I could get my hands on and spending thousands of dollars on the top personal development courses in the industry. Out of all of them, Get Unstuck is the best. I've never seen so many eye-opening ideas and powerful exercises in one succinct program before. Its impact on my life cannot be overstated. The experience has truly been priceless. So there's just 2 of them. Now, we've got more because I had a few more people doing it. And as we went through the program, as the people started changing their results, it was just so cool to see their level of confidence just improve. The first call, everyone was a little bit nervous. And by the end of it, everyone's just like, yeah, I'm doing this right now. I'm just in flow with this. I asked for that raise. I've got this plan. And the amount of confidence that they got was just fantastic. So it was really great for me to realize that this stuff just really works. It's not just me. I've used it on other people. I've had other people have experienced similar results to me. And that's just fantastic. So if we take a look and think about what doing this would all do to your life, we start to become like, do I want to do this or not? I've actually decided that obviously if I add up all the value that I would sell each of those individually as, it'd be about $6,458. But I'm running this program for the short price of $1,498. So it only goes for 12 weeks. There's 3 different ways you can pay. Pay in full, or you can do monthly, or you can do weekly repayments. Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, that's a lot of money. This is a lot of things going on. That's a lot. If you're worried about that, I'll go to the next one. The program starts on the 12th of September, and there's only 10 spots available. I'll go to the next part. I've actually put a guarantee on this. If you're not happy with the program in the first 14 days, you get a full refund, no questions asked. This is just how confident I am that this stuff works, guys, and that you're going to absolutely love it if we're a good fit for each other, obviously. So if you don't like it, you can sign up, pay the money. And if you do the first 2 weeks, go through the material and you're like, no, this isn't for me, all good. You get all your money back. If after the program's completed and you haven't been able to get the results that you want, I'll work with you one-to-one for 2 weeks to make sure you get back on that path to getting where you want to be. But here's the big one, guys. If 30 days after the program ends, you haven't seen any results at all, which is extremely unlikely, and you came to the calls, you did the exercises, but you didn't get the results that you were after, I will give you a full refund. And that's after the whole program. That's just how confident I am. So I'm actually assuming all the risk here. So you literally have nothing to lose if you're worried about that. And as it said on the slide before, I'm starting it in 2 weeks on Monday, the 12th of September. I've got 10 spots available at the launch price. So the first 10 people who get it at that price, but then after that, then it's going to go up by $500. And you might be thinking, okay, I'll just do it next time. The next time it's going to be $1,000 more than the launch price, to be honest. This is the first time I've run it in the 12-week setting, and it's going to be amazing. People are going to get amazing results. I'm going to get more references from other people. And then when I run it again, it's just going to keep going up in value. So there's that chance that you might miss out. I don't like doing that whole thing like, oh, don't miss out. You got to sign up right now. But unfortunately, that is the situation that I'm in right now. I can only take on 10 people so that I can give them that amazing experience at that price. And the only question that there is left is, are you ready to do this? If you think about it for too long or decide to do it later, your mind will talk you out of it. So if you've gone through this and thought, wow, these are some great ideas, and this guy seems like he knows what he's talking about, and maybe he could really help me, that inspiration starts speaking, but then your programming, the way that you've always been, the way that got you where you are, will start speaking up. We've all had that where we have like a great idea, and then like 5 minutes later, we go, oh, but how am I going to do it with work? What if my partner doesn't like it? And we start limiting where we're going to go in our life. Now, the people who are successful that you see who are really successfully living, they're not thinking that way. If they want to do something, they do it. They don't let their situations or circumstances push them around. I love what George Bernard Shaw said. He said, people are always blaming situations and circumstances for where they are in life. I don't believe in situations. The people who get on in this world look for the situations and circumstances they want. And if they can't find them, they make them. So if this is something that you really want to do, what I've done is I've set up an application form so that it's going to be put in the comments to this video, so you'll be able to copy it, but it's also going to be put under this video in the replay that I'm going to send out later. So if you want to explore the idea of working together, just fill in that application. We'll get in contact with each other, and we'll start chatting about what this could look like if we were to work together for this period of time and what it could help you achieve. So yeah, we're getting towards the end, guys. So thank you so much for being here. I know that it's probably been a lot of information. I hope that's been really beneficial, but I want you to remember, you deserve to put yourself first and really give yourself an opportunity, whether it's this one or another one that you've heard about. I'm not too fussed. I only want to work with people who want to work with me, but you really deserve to put yourself first and go after what it is that you want, and whatever that looks like in the way that you want to do it. So if you did decide that this program seemed good for you and you want to give it a chance, you will not regret it. I haven't had people complain about my services or anything like that. And everyone who did the program completed the whole program last time and had amazing results. Justin's in Japan at the moment with his girlfriend. That was one of the things he wanted to do when we started working together. I've got people who have moved up in the roles in their work and have become like the finance manager, I think it was, in one of their careers. A lot of people have changed due to this program, so I know you won't regret it. So if you want to connect with me, reach out, send me an email after this. That would be amazing. I'd love to connect, hear what you thought about this program. So thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you guys soon. Okay, we got through that. That was amazing. Hang on. All right, now you guys can talk. Oh, I can shut up. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, guys, how did we go?
Well done. Thank you so much for presenting it to us. Just wanted to say thank you, and it's great to see everybody.
Oh, thanks, Justin. I really appreciate you coming. Oh, Heather said, are you recording, David? Unfortunately, I couldn't reply to any of these. Keen. Hello from Ireland, 1 a.m. That's from Nolene. Is Nolene still here? Well done, Nolene. 1 a.m. That's some commitment. I'm going to give you a round of applause for that. Hello from USA. Awesome. Oh, okay. So we've got some things from like Justin and Adrian. Yep, they've said that they did the program. Excellent. When I said your name at the end, Justin, I was like, oh, hang on. Was I supposed to say his name? Like, I hope he doesn't mind.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. It's completely cool.
Awesome. Amazing. All right, guys. So did we have any questions that came up for you throughout that whole thing? Or was there anything that you really took away from it that really rang true for you? Yep, no worries, Karen. Thanks so much.
I really appreciated.
Oh, sorry, go for it, Adrian.
Sorry, I was just going to say that I really appreciated the distinction between one's purpose and one's values, and how you've got to be true to the values that are actually sort of ingrained in you while pursuing the purpose that you feel called to, and not merely attempt to slap on the values that seem appropriate for your purpose. That's a new way of thinking about that for me, and I think it's quite cool.
Yeah, awesome. I found it really powerful when I learned it as well, because we can see people living a purpose that we really like and be like, okay, well, if I want to do that, I have to live like that person, and I have to do what they're doing to be able to live out that purpose. But yeah, that can get us into the trap of trying to be someone we're not and trying to do things that don't align with us. We're all very unique and individual people. So when we're going after what it is that we're supposed to be doing, we're going to do it with our own flair. And if we try and copy other people too much, I mean, we can learn from other people, but if we try and copy them and live by values that we don't really, don't feel good to us, we're going to cause ourselves a lot of like problems and resistance. And then we'll think it's our purpose. It's the purpose's fault. And then it can stop us. So yeah, amazing. All right, Justin's gone as well. Awesome. All right, well, thank you so much, guys, for being here for this entire time. I really appreciate it. I look forward to talking to some more with each of you, and yeah, connecting more over time. So thank you again for being here. Have a lovely rest of your day, night, sleep. Can't believe she's here at 1 a.m. That was pretty impressive. Just enjoy the rest of the time that you have after this. If you wanted to spend some time thinking about what we've gone over and how you want to apply it to your life, amazing. And if you want to apply for the program, I'm going to put a link in the group and send it out via email so you can do that. All right. Thanks, guys, for being here. I will talk to you guys soon.